There are over 7 billion people living on Earth, which about 6 billion of these people owns a smartphone. What is it about smartphones that people has the need to constantly use it? Do people know that this is an addiction? From the old brick phones with the dial pads, to the flip phones, to the slide phones, and to the touch screens, what we have now is a smartphone, all in one. What is it about smartphones that we cannot live without? Is it more important than a passport, a credit card, identity card, our car keys and a house key? Or is it just simply our wallet? According to a well-known sociologist, Foucault, his idea of self-surveillance works well into explaining how smartphones are addictive. The idea of surveillance seeks into information of how it is a control and discipline, involving a risk of exploitation and privacy invasions. He offers the theory of how the panopticon, a type of prison, which acts as a metaphor in modern society, where citizens are expected to behave in a way that they are always under surveillance, making a more radically effective exercise of power without any physical constraint other than architecture and geometry. For example, when we upload content on our smartphones, we are careful of our behavior and actions as we are in the fear that we are always being watched. This explanation is an important move of how digital media and technology is now a form of power to control one's identity through self-surveillance. Foucault's idea of the panopticon in relation to digital self-tracking devices links in with the modern use of smartphones, designed for self-improvement of an individual. Power is exercised through these light devices, making people think that it is participatory surveillance. But are individuals aware of this, and do they agree that smartphones are truly an addiction? May I ask you, how many mobile phones have you had in your lifetime?
Oh gosh.
Mobile phones.
Smartphone. 2.
Okay, how about phones overall?
3?
It's going back a long time. About 20 years. Half a dozen maybe, or more.
5, I would say.
So how often do you use it in a day? So how many hours or times do you use it in a day?
Well, I use it quite a bit now because I'm retired.
Yeah, I try to think about today, how many times I've used my phone, how many times I've unlocked it.
Ooh, I'd say at least like, in total, probably is like a couple of hours, I'd say. I'm on my phone quite a lot.
The hours, say maybe 3 to 4 hours a day.
Every few hours, maybe. It depends what I'm doing in the day, whether I'm like working or whether I'm just chilling at home, and I'm more likely to check it when I'm just at home rather than if I'm actually busy.
Just to give you an interesting fact, the average person uses their smartphone 35 times a day. So there's an average of 2,617 touches a day on the mobile phone. Are you surprised by these facts?
Not really.
No, not really. That seems pretty accurate to me.
Why aren't you surprised?
Because I know how often I touch my my phone, the screen. I don't do a lot of selfies. That is out of the question with me. So it doesn't involve me at all. So I'm not that surprised with that figure.
The numbers sound big, but they're probably actually very small compared to how many minutes and hours and stuff are in a day. So subconsciously, I probably do it a lot more than I really think I'm actually doing it. So I'm aware of it, kind of but you're just kind of you just over your phone, and so yeah. To be fair, it is probably more than that is more subconscious than anything else.
What do you usually use your smartphone for, and do you think it's necessary?
I use it for communicating, research, fact checking.
I use it a lot for work, so a lot of emails I do, a lot of messaging.
I use my phone a lot.
Yes.
I don't use it for social media stuff. Well,
Okay.
I say that, but I obviously do. What other things am I using my phone for?
What sort of social media apps do you use?
WhatsApp, Twitter, Telegram. I tend to criticize a lot on social media and YouTube as well. I criticize a lot of comments. I don't really sort of care. I just criticize things that I don't like.
I do use it for a lot of just checking stuff on the internet, YouTube. I watch a lot of like YouTube clips. I have a couple of like games on my phone.
Well, there's Twitter, there's Facebook, there's Reddit, there's
is that
there's
not
games.
social media?
No, that's the thing. That's what I mean. Like, I think I'm not really using social media, but I obviously am, because those things are all social media.
Who do you usually communicate it with?
I better stop this. Hold on a minute. I'll just switch the sound off.
Is there a reason why you switched it off?
Well, it's because it's not right because you're interviewing me.
Is it distracting?
Of course it is. Yeah, it is.
It is annoying. Ideally, you want to be speaking to your friends.
So next question is, do you know what the difference between a drug addiction and a smartphone addiction is?
There's none really. Probably. Yeah, none.
Well, a drug addiction, right? It does harm to your body, to your health.
Well, addiction is when you can't live without something, isn't it? I feel like I want to get my phone and check the definition of addiction now. Do I know what the... addiction is stopping you from living your life. Like, I want to word this in a correct way.
Smartphone addiction is just maybe it does your eyes, it doesn't do your eyes a lot of good if you're concentrating too much on it, but it's a lot less damaging than drugs.
How is it a lot less damaging? Can you explain, please?
Drugs could kill you.
Lots of drugs are very dangerous for the human body, and
So is the smartphone not dangerous to the human body?
well, it can affect your eyes and your brain and stuff, and stuff like that. But I think it's not going to kill you. So I guess with drugs and stuff, like I guess phone addiction is similar, yeah, because I'd say that that's disrupting your life.
I mean, yeah, it's terrible to think around it. I think it's very ingrained into our society now. Also, I think we have teenagers who they've grown up with it. I think it's so difficult now, to say don't use your phone or, to kind of stay away from technology. I think technology is so prevalent in everything we do now. People who are like younger and who are having issues and anxieties that are increased by using technology or social media or whatever it is. It obviously will exacerbate what they're feeling, and if they're having suicidal thoughts, if they're having depression, all that kind of stuff as well.
Can you remember the last time that you did not have contact with your smartphone for at least 24 hours, and how did you feel about it?
Let me have a think. For at least the past 10 years, I don't think I've not had my phone for 24 hours.
I was in Florida and my phone broke. So I had no way of contacting my family apart from with my iPad. I was on holiday, so I wasn't using my phone and I had a camera with me so I could take photos on my camera. But I remember it being quite difficult and feeling like a part of me just wasn't there. Like if I needed it, I didn't have it. So like if I got lost or I needed to buy something and I lost my purse, I'd potentially have had some form of way of actually paying for things or communicating with my family.
When I went to Berlin, no, Amsterdam. It was nice. It was good actually. Obviously it feels a bit weird because you have something that you use all the time, so it becomes a force of habit. So when you do something that's out of habit, it's going to feel weird. But it did feel really refreshing because you get to engage with obviously the people around you and what you're doing a lot more. So even though if it was a little bit jarring, it did actually feel really nice.
The battery, the touchscreen, and the multi-core processor is a direct result of the government research funding.
I didn't know that.
Now, basing on this fact, are you aware of surveillance on your phone?
Yeah, I'm very aware that I'm being watched on my phone and that, government probably knows what I'm looking at. But, yes, it does worry me. To a certain extent, I guess it does.
How do you feel
Oh
about
yeah,
that?
no, I'm very aware of that.
Oh, you're very aware.
Well, yeah, your phone listens to you, doesn't it? This is actually a thing. Like, you can be on Facebook and talk about, I don't know, leggings, and leggings will suddenly appear on your feed, and you're like, how did that happen? So, yeah, I'm very aware of my phone listens to me, and it is scary, but at the same time, they're gonna do it. So.
You pardon? What was that?
They're gonna do it.
They're gonna do it.
I'm aware of surveillance, but I have protection against it. I believe I use a VPN, which actually, hopefully blocks out any sort of surveillance on it. But you never know. I mean, they might still can get onto it.
Do you know what nomophobia is?
No.
Sorry?
Nomophobia?
Nomophobia, no.
It basically means the fear of not having your phone or when it's lost. So, do you think you have this nomophobia?
I'm constantly kind of checking it for any notifications, and so I think to a certain extent, if I don't have it on me, there is that certain fear of being like, what if I've missed something? I don't know where my phone is. Where's my phone? Oh.
My phone's important to me. If I lost it, I'd be very sad. Mainly because I don't have insurance on it, and if I broke it or destroyed it, there's no getting it back. So
I've never lost my phone. If I lost my phone in the house, that's fine. Yeah? If it's outside, I worry about it because they could do, a lot of damage to it, I wouldn't set up any sort of a mobile payment. I could lose quite a lot of money.
Do you think smartphone is an addiction?
Yeah, I definitely think to a certain extent. Like, I check it quite regularly. And to a point where, you open your phone for no apparent reason to check. I think that's probably one of the signs that you kind of get when you're getting quite like addictive, or like you're just checking it for no apparent reason, or just scrolling through random stuff.
I don't think I'm addicted to it, but I feel that is a necessity for me now. I use it, to carry out my daily life basically, especially now when I have to order online because of the lockdown. Whereas, if I didn't have my mobile phone, I have to use my computer, my laptop to do it. So basically, I don't think, with me, it's not an addiction. It's a way of life for me. It's a way of life. I don't call it an addiction. I call it a way of life.
I'm probably partly addicted to game society. I go into a different world and it makes me feel better, and I can pretend this one doesn't exist for a while. I'm quite glad to be part of the generation where we're kind of in the middle, like internet and YouTube and everything. It progressed as I got older, but I still have the memories of playing Kick the Cone. It means so much more to me than the messaging online. It really does. And playing games with someone, it's so much more meaningful to meet up with someone and have that connection with somebody in person. I do miss it a lot.
When you use your smartphone and its social media, it is designed in a way to make it addictive. For example, when you refresh your page every now and then, it acts as a compulsion loop, like those on a slot machine, where you have the need to pull the slot lever to continue to update your content on your smartphone. This is the same behavior that occurs when you inhale cocaine. It is an addictive drug that is coordinated to entertain you. For every 100 hours you speak on the phone, the chances of you developing brain cancer increases by 5%. And this type of phone transmission you receive changes the way you think. In turn, this affects your sleep patterns such as insomnia and causes myopia. The blue light you see on the smartphone causes cancer and diminishes sleep. This means your body produces less hormone that is responsible for your regulation of sleep and wake-up cycles. The way you look at your smartphone with your head down is the equivalent of an 8-year-old child sitting on your neck, about 4.7 hours a day. This type of addiction is like a drug, and according to a university in California, teenagers who spend 5 hours a day on electronic devices are 71% more likely to have suicidal risk factors. So, is the smartphone truly a necessity of life, one that you can risk your health on and miss out on the important things in life such as physical human interaction? Are we living in a super panoptic model as Mark Poster suggests, basically a system without walls, windows, towers or guards, which effectively is an electronic prison where everyone who has a technological device is under surveillance? When analysing digital media technology, we need to understand to the extent that the idea of surveillance is a way of life due to its control, through what we think is participatory surveillance, which is displayed in our smartphones. Considering this, smartphones captivates us into wanting to engage with this system to feel a sense of belonging in this new media age. However, does this still count as a sense of belonging, although we are not physically interacting with others? This then concludes one thing: smartphones are designed to be addictive so that we feel that we are part of a modern society.